I was so put off by his demeanor. I'm usually very tolerant with different personality types, but this was just very odd to me. I had been told that Korean men would be polite and not so touchy on the first date. He was also dressed oddly, like in business attire for a date, but I thought that maybe it was just a Korean thing. Again, I was dumb and knew jack shit about the culture. Then the first thing he said to me was, "You're not as white as I thought you were." I thought that was a translation error, but his English was near perfect. So I asked for clarification and he said what he meant. "I thought you would be more white. Your skin is darker than I thought and your eyes aren't green. Are you pure European?" Now I was officially weirded out. First of all, I'm pretty much as white as you can get. I'm Irish and Scandinavian, so yeah. And why did he care in the first place anyway? Why does my skin color matter to this guy, and why is he bringing it up? He said about 3 times on the date how he wished I had greener eyes, and every time I would just reply, "Well, maybe my online photos make me look brighter," and brushed it off as him being nervous and trying to start a conversation. Isn't it funny the dumb excuses you make for people when you're panicking? When we arrived at the tea place, I tried to order a basic raspberry tea, and he stopped me and told me I had to have this special tea. I thought it was weird that he wanted to choose my tea for me, but in my head I brushed it off once again. He really insisted I drink only this tea type, and I just agreed. These small details become weirder later. After tea, he asked if we could look around my school. It was dark, but the school was very well lit. So I agreed, and the whole time we walked around, he would randomly stop and just grab me for long hugs. At first, I let it happen, but then I stopped him, and he just kept trying. He kept grabbing me and breathing hard into my neck. It was so awkward. He would also not tell me any personal details about himself. I asked so many questions, desperately trying to distract from all the awkward grabbing and to try and get to know him. He would never tell me anything. He even said at one point, "I'm a mysterious man." Almost like a weird movie line. He also said something like, "You look so much like my favorite movie character," and I asked too, but he said that I would have to figure it out on my own. Finally, he said, "I want to go to a dark area," and in my head I screamed heck no. At this point, I wanted the date over fast. He somehow knew there was a wooded area behind my campus, and he said we should go there. I said no and that I wanted to stay near the main campus in town, but he kept pushing. Finally, he grabbed my arm and started dragging me there anyway. He said, "I can't let anyone see." And I started to panic. I finally ripped my arm away and just demanded we leave and go back to the main road immediately. Looking back, I don't know why I didn't ask for help or get angry. Maybe I was scared, but I just began to book it to the main road and he followed. We ended up in front of a hospital near the center of town, and I told him it was time for him to go. I made some excuse and he was pleading with me to stay. I told him we could meet the next day. I lied, and that I would message him. I just wanted to get away at this point. I was pretending it was all okay just so he would leave. Suddenly, he's leaning in to kiss me, and I immediately think, no, this is not happening. But it was so much worse. Instead, I feel pain in my face. It takes me a second to realize he was literally biting my face, like a dog. I had never felt the sensation before. He leaned his head sideways and bit me on the nose and cheek, seemingly as hard as he could. I screamed and pushed him away from me. His face looked so freaky, and I barely had time to react in words. Instead, I ran up the sidewalk until I saw a convenience store on the right. I ran to the back of the store and bent down to start crying. The man who owned the store started to yell at me, but I couldn't explain my situation. I just begged him in English to let me stay. I ended up having to buy a popsicle to stick around. I guess Tim didn't follow me. I peered outside the store and didn't see him. I texted a friend and waited for them to get me to take me back to my dorm. On the way, I messaged Tim and basically told him to stay away from me. I told him he was a creep, that he shouldn't bite women, and something along the lines of calling the police. And then I blocked him. I was so scared to walk around my school after that. I was so afraid he would find me somehow, and I'm just so thankful I never let him pick me up at my dorm. I called my mom to tell her what happened when suddenly she said, "Wait, what did he ask you?" She then put some details together and realized that all of these weird things had to do with the 50 Shades of Grey books. At first I thought she was just being silly and overthinking a bad date. I thought she was joking. But man, she was right. She had recently seen the movie or read the book or something and knew the details. The eye color and the way he dressed, and the tea he made me drink, and the random lines he said. It all matches the books and movies for his dirty little fantasy. My mom thinks he picked me because I look like the girl in that movie to him. It explains why he was so fixated on my appearance, and his whole thing with the biting and trying to dominate me. Even if it wasn't his intention, I later learned that there are some few creeps who seek out foreign girls to dominate and have sex with, as like a prize. They call it riding the white horse or something along those lines. On a happier note, this bad experience didn't stop me. I eventually met someone else in Korea and we ended up falling in love. We even did the whole long distance thing, and now I'm living in Korea studying and working, hoping to marry soon. So I guess I didn't let bad creepy guys stop my life.